So the next thing we're going to look at is the display property, and we're going to start learning a little bit about the display property. And I guess I could just close everything to the right. And I don't need that one anymore. And that's the repo we're working out of for anybody watching this online. And I did lose the link to this document. Oh well. So you can take my course at Greater Commons. HTML CSS is where you get access to this. So now we're going to talk about the display property. So CSS has rule sets. A rule set consists of selector or selectors and the declaration block. A declaration block, the code between the curly braces, has declarations. Declarations are made up of properties and values. So here's a new property, the display property, and it has these values: inline block, none. So we've been learning that everything on a web page is a box, right? It's all a box, okay? And we learned about, that's called the box model. And then we learned about box sizing, border box, and how that holds your padding and your border, you know, when it squishes the content in instead of growing the element size out. Box sizing, border box, everything's a box. Box has content, and then it has a border around it. Between the content and the border is the padding, and between the border and other elements is the margin. Cool. And then we saw the border, right? We could change the border. Border shorthand property for a couple of other ones that I can't remember right now. But it's basically border. Oh gosh, I want to look. It's I want to say width, but that's not right. Border width. It is right. Border style and border color. Right? So those are there's border shorthand for all three of those. So we could say border 10 pixels. Groove red. Right? That's what we've been doing. And then we saw that there's also border radius. And that's pretty sweet because we could round the corner on things, really like border radius property. Well, now there's this thing about all the boxes on a web page, and those boxes are either going to be they're going to be displayed in two primary ways. They're either going to be block, their display property will be block, display block, or their display property will be in line with the rest of text. What am I talking about? Let's take a look. So we will do a new folder here, which is 009 display, and then we'll do a new one in here, which is 01, and we'll do this one block. We'll do a HTML file index. I'll do a CSS file main. And then we'll link them. And we'll have a div. And we'll have actually like 7 of those. And then we'll come over here and we'll say body, HTML body div. And we'll zero all the default formatting the browser puts on it. Zero that out. So content, padding, border, margin. And then we'll say, okay, with our divs, we want a width of 100 pixels and a height of 100 pixels. We'll just start off with the height of 100 pixels. And we'll have a border of 5 pixels solid red, and we'll have some margin between them of 10 pixels. And let's look at that. So the default display property, the default value of the display property for a div is block. Blocks stack on top of each other. They take up as much of a whole line. They take up the whole line, even if their width is less than the whole line. Right? Still took up the whole line. The next div starts on the next line. Okay? So it takes up the whole line if it can. Unless its width is set, and it's only there. But the next block level element starts on the next line. Next block level element starts on the next line. So you could start to experiment. You could say, well, is a paragraph a block level element, or is that an inline level element? Or better yet, okay, except I want my P to stand out a little bit. Border, 5 pixels, solid, dotted, blue. Okay. So paragraph's a block level element. Okay. What about an image tag? And I'll just take a couple of these out. And we'll do an image tag. Image. And the source. Oop, that's taking up a lot of room. So we'll come over here and we'll say image width 100 pixels. Looks like it took up a whole row, right? Image width 100 pixels. But what would happen if we had a couple of images? Would they stack next to each other or on top of each other? Next to each other. So image is inline. What about if we had a couple of paragraphs? Nope, on top of each other. So that's block. Blocks stack on top of each other. An image is inline. So see how the inline elements line up in line with each other? What about an anchor tag? Well, we could do goggle.com, see what comes up. So that's inline, right? And we could do a couple just to prove it. Yep, they line up in line with each other. So that's default display property of an anchor tag, and of an image tag is inline, of a div is block, and of a paragraph is block. But you could also change stuff up. So you could say display inline block. Now they get in line with everybody. What happens if we just do display inline? Huh? Needed that block element for them to continue to act like blocks. Okay? So it needs to be like, hey, I'm normally a block element, now I'm going to be in line, but if I just do inline, I totally squish down to that. But when I'm inline block, I stay block, but now I'm in line. So there's display inline block, display block. And in our course outline, you see display inline, display block, display inline block. What's display none? Well, let's say on our image we say, oh, display none. How's that change things? Those images, gone. No longer displayed. So then maybe I might use JavaScript to say, this isn't displayed until something happens. Now I'm going to display it. And change display none to display inline, because it's an image. All right, so I could change display to display none and then go to display inline. And it switches it to display inline. And it comes back on. So it got set, and then it got set again. And it's telling me, hey, you idiot, which one do you want? Choose one. All right, so that's display block, display inline. And so those divs that we lined up here, when I got that cool little thing with the border, with all these divs, all right, I made that display inline block. Cool? So that's the display property.